Welcome to the Trash Pit. We have Zach, Tyler, and Trevor returning this week, but as well, we have Zach's fiance, Megan, on the show with us this week. Megan, I gotta ask you a question. How do you deal with Zach's voracious sexual deviancy?
I don't know, it's hard some days.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, he's just such a stallion.
You know, I look at
I
Zach
can't
and I
take that
think a
seriously.
lot of things,
I can't
but
take that
stallion is
seriously.
not one.
He's like a rhino. I would.
Jesus Christ! Because I'm so horny.
He's got one big thick horn.
Fuck me. I'm like a rhino. I'm hunted by poachers. My illustrious horn used in sexual healing.
Well, stallions are elegant and rhinos just aren't.
No, but I will fuck someone up if they get in my way. I just slowly bowl them over.
Don't
true.
flip my Jeep.
Yes, I'm like a rhino. I get confused and sexually aroused by safari jeeps.
Yeah, that does sound about right.
Yeah.
Wait, is that actually a thing though?
It is. Yeah.
Wait, me getting sexually aroused by jeeps or rhinos?
Both?
Oh, that's why they do that?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Oh,
Sometimes
I thought they did
mistake
get
it
mad.
Sometimes they do it because they're like, sexy Jeep. And other times they're like, oh, that Jeep's here to steal my woman.
Oh.
Fuck you, Jeep.
Fuck
here
that
I come.
I mean, I have
Same
that
response
thought about a
either
lot
way.
of people in Jeeps too. Just fuck that Jeep. But, you know, different reasons, I think.
It's a Jeep thing.
I guess so.
You don't deserve a Wrangler.
Beep boop. It's a Jeep.
Alright, well, we should probably get into the first segment then.
Fuck.
We're actually going to start this week with Zach doing a Would You Rather.
Alright. Would you rather sweat mayonnaise or only eat mayonnaise?
I'd rather sweat mayonnaise.
I would much rather sweat mayonnaise. I have heard this one before. I have thought about it. I would much rather sweat mayonnaise.
Like, but though, can I make things out of my mayonnaise?
Well, yeah.
It's mayonnaise.
It's mayonnaise.
But you
just
can't
regular-
add anything to it.
It's just
Wait,
regular
to
mayo.
eat or to like sweat?
Both, I guess.
Sweat, yes. Eat, no.
Oh man.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
Like,
able
you
to
just
deal
eat
with
straight
just
mayo
mayonnaise.
the whole
all
time?
day.
That's all you're left
Yeah,
eating.
No.
but the mayo
No.
is nutritionally everything you need, and it is almost impossible.
Soylent mayo.
Yeah, it's soy boy mayo. It's everything you need.
Here's the thing. I'm a sweaty boy.
Yeah.
And I can only imagine the amount of clothes you would just go through. Just dripping mayo in like a hot summer's day.
I mean, luckily
yeah, what
mayo
happens-
doesn't smell too bad though. So
Ooh,
I
I
mean,
think if you-
sweating that wouldn't be too
But
bad.
if it's
But if
warm.
mayo gets warm, it like separates.
It like separates, turns out like that nice, healthy, yellowy beige.
yeah, because of the egg yolk. And also, if you're sweating it like all the time, it gets like cloyingly sticky. I'd
Ugh,
imagine.
No.
More like slippery, I feel like. Like
No,
it'd be
not
slippery
at a certain
and
point.
gooey.
Yeah,
Oh,
probably
but-
like curdle.
Yeah. Also,
Ugh.
Can I still
mayonnaise
drink
doesn't
water?
evaporate like sweat, so I feel like you would just get
You'd
like
have to, like,
a
wipe yourself
hardened
down
shell
constantly.
of mayo.
Yeah, dude, and then you're a super.
I don't think so.
Am I able to drink water if I'm consuming only mayo?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I said eat. You're still allowed to drink
Oh,
things.
thank Christ. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, mayo,
But-
mayo food.
Smoothies count as food.
Oh, so you
No,
like
okay,
mayo
yeah.
smoothie?
Yeah, you could make a mayo smoothie.
Could I drink?
Just mayo.
No, you could put ice in there, I guess.
And can you put like fruit juice
No.
in mayo?
Oh yeah, I guess you could put fruit
That
juice in there.
sounds repulsive. I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I actually hadn't considered until you brought up the whole problem of being like a sweaty boy.
Because you sweat more than anyone.
We've talked on this podcast
Oh
before
my
about how
God.
fucking clammy I am. Can you just imagine just mayonnaise constantly secreting from my hands?
It's like Iron Man's repulsor jets of mayo as you hover slightly above the ground. Just volume-wise, Jesus.
You could sell that though.
But then you'd
Who
also.
would want it?
Buy
Who
this.
would buy it from the man holding a jar with the mayo seeping out?
Just constantly.
Yeah, but you never have to work again in your life. You just go to the Hellman's factory and sit there.
I feel like the FDA would have issues with the idea that you're eating somebody's body.
No, dude, it probably has less bug parts than the
Hold
regular.
up. You just said the mayonnaise. Oh wait, no. Is the mayonnaise I'm secreting? Is that perfectly balanced nutritionally, or is it just mayo?
It's the
Soylent
stuff
mayo.
the stuff you secrete is just mayo. The
Okay.
stuff you eat is
Soylent mayo.
uber mayo. It's
Uber schmail.
yeah, uber schmayo. It's got what plants crave. It'll keep you healthy forever.
Nice.
Dang.
Perfect.
Super mayo.
Problem solved. I'm on the mayo soylent diet for the rest of my life. I'm not sweating that shit.
I'm not sweating that shit. I'm not sweating that shit.
Can you imagine this? Imagine you're like public transit and then you get up and then you just leave like a nice imprint of your mayo sweaty bag.
Oh, but
I do that already, but with regular sweat.
But I
But
have
that's
thought of
hidden.
something. If I'm a sweaty boy and leaking mayo on a hot day, I could just slip and slide my way places.
Yeah.
Just downhill.
I could shitty frozone my way downhill.
I don't think anyone sweats
Mayo
quite that
frozen.
much to get that constant smear to glide.
Corey does.
I give Corey.
Corey will do a handstand down the hill and be fine.
I give Corey 20 feet. 20 feet of mayo slick.
I see that 20 feet. I think is also like fair for like non-mayo slick. Just my regular sweat.
Also, Mayo Slick is definitely my new rap name. What up, it's your boy Mayo Slick back at it again.
Is anyone else hungry?
Ah, fuck off. Alright, we'll go around. Is everyone good?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna go around the group. Alright, we'll start with Corey. Corey?
I'm gonna sweat mayo.
Gross. Tyler?
I'm just gonna eat mayo.
Trevor?
As much as I don't really like mayo, I'd probably eat
You
mayo.
get used to it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'd
no
say.
other food. Like, do you not like chicken?
I mean, I do, but I have also like legitimately thought of just doing the Soylent thing because it's just easier.
Yeah.
Fair.
There's no thinking. You just eat the mayonnaise and you're done.
I would
Just eat the
I would just eat
mayonnaise.
the mayo, cause I mean I'm limited with my food choices now, anyways.
There you go.
I think I'd kill myself. And if that's not an option, I think I would also just eat the mayonnaise.
So
You
our,
get-
our sweaty boy.
Yeah.
The one who
man
has
with
the
Yeah, the man with the sweat problem's like, yeah, let's make that worse. Fuck it,
No
we're here
different
anyway.
to me.
I've already had girlfriends refuse to hold my hand.
Yeah,
Let's make it worse.
but I mean, you're having sex with them. They would just be like having sex with mayo.
Oh, I hadn't thought
Oh
about
no, that would lead to like some weird UTIs, I think.
Now there's some like
Can your
weird
dick
feeder-
sweat? Does your dick have sweat glands?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
Probably.
Yeah,
Wait,
Oh,
absolutely.
no.
Wait, why do you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, she's the only one in this room that has had a penis inside of her.
I don't think. Okay,
You
she's,
can't
Yeah.
tell that it's sweat.
if you can feel
You're like,
a
"Ah,
penis
yes."
sweating inside of you, one, she's
Weird.
not aroused. Two, you might have a penis problem.
I mean, if you're feeling stuff, it's probably not sweat.
I should see a
You
doctor.
should see a doctor.
I feel like sweat's at the bottom of the list. You get like, okay, he just came inside me. Is he bleeding? Am I bleeding? Sweat. Mayonnaise.
Man, did that guy palm work mayonnaise into my vagina? I swear to God.
God damn, it happened once. It happens 1,000 times. Jesus
Worst
Christ.
street magician I've seen in my life. Yeah, no, the whole sweat thing I think leads to a much bigger issue because you know if you sweat a whole bunch and you get swamp ass.
Oh no.
Glass?
Yeah. What if it's mayo?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
No, this is the life you chose for yourself, Corey.
I I need to be able to eat other foods. Like I can't.
Why?
That's what I
No,
can't
but
give up.
why?
Because I like food.
I don't know
Me
if
too.
I'd be able to be friends with someone who sweats mayo.
Yeah, no, Corey, I think that'd be bad.
I will.
No, 'cause
I will live alone
you-
in a bachelor
you
suite
can-
apartment, sitting at my desk, secreting mayonnaise and playing World of Warcraft.
But you can only
So, like,
eat
every other-
mayonnaise.
Yeah,
That's fine.
like how I live
You
now.
can only eat mayonnaise.
That's
He
fine.
sweats mayonnaise. There's some weird, like, leech symbiotic relationship if you just latch
No,
onto one of
no.
his
As
hands.
we've discussed, I have Uber mayo. He has basic bitch mayo.
No, it'll
That's-
change. It'll change if somebody who can only eat mayo interacts with
I
it.
don't want
Oh,
it.
okay.
I do not
You
want
could
it.
suckle from his. You could suckle from his fingers like a baby goat.
I don't
So
want
it's
that.
like Venom, but mayo?
No, that makes it sound way too cool. That's just anti-venom.
I don't want to suck on anyone's fingers for my mayo fixes.
What about for
Yeah,
other
yeah.
fixes?
No? Question mark.
Yeah. Is there a story involved?
Not yet, anyways.
All right.
Answer
fair
pending.
enough. Yeah, I think that's it. I think everyone gave their answer.
Yeah, well, we'll move on to the next segment then. We're gonna do some weird news. British model turned pieces of her labia into designer jewelry.
Nice.
Why?
How? How?
Wait.
Why, though?
She
Wait.
like cast it, or did she like cut it off and turn it into jewelry?
Mate.
Yeah.
So,
that's a very
what ended up
important
happening-
question.
Labia, like, major or minor? Like, the big ones or the little ones?
It doesn't say. What it
Both.
does say
Wish it
is
was.
that so
All of
she's
it.
a fashion model turned fashion blogger, who underwent a labiaplasty
Yes.
in heart to remove a cyst that doctors said was caused by friction in the area.
Yeah,
Oh.
because for some women, if they have longer stuff going on, it causes
Shapes?
Yeah, it causes
Okay.
problems because it's not supposed to do that.
Well, or it wasn't designed to.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong.
No,
if
it's
you
nothing
have-
wrong with if you have longer stuff down there.
Be
It's
proud.
normal because every woman has different looking stuff.
Let y'all freak fight.
Yeah, maybe
But
don't
I've
let it
been
fly
like-
out though.
I mean, I got some fat thighs and they chafe pretty bad in the summer, but
Yeah.
I've never been like, gotta get that sucked out. Gotta get my thighs sucked
Are
out.
you telling me
Yes.
if you had hundreds of thousands of dollars, part of you wouldn't be just like, get rid of all this fat, just like move it, get rid of it?
You right.
Where would
Yeah.
you move it,
Right?
though?
You can just give it to me.
And also,
I'll take it.
To be
I don't
fair,
want to know what you would be doing with my
I
extra
would
baggage.
be adding it to myself.
Oh, that makes it worse.
I want you inside me.
Fat transplant.
I don't like it. I'm
Also-
uncomfortable in this room right now.
also, Jesus. To be fair, they did say it was to remove a cyst,
Yeah.
so this
Yeah.
was a medically needed thing.
Yeah,
That's fair.
but then it turns out that she saved her labia
Yeah.
For jewelry.
and
Was
made
she
it
selling
into
that?
a choker.
Well,
Okay,
yeah.
that's weird.
Yeah.
That's
When
You
like,
gotta recoup some of the losses.
When life
right?
gives you lemons,
ugh.
you make labia jewelry.
Here's the thing. I mean, I
But
know
how
people.
did she make it into that? It's like, I want to know
I-
how.
It'd be like leather, I'd assume. So you tan it like leather and you
Ugh.
stretch it. And
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And then she put crystals on it
Mm.
because
Oh,
she's
the
also
first-
one of those
the-
people.
it's
the first
bedazzled
guy
now.
she tells, oh yeah, this is my labia, they'd be like, what the fuck?
Like, damn girl, you freak.
You don't say it on the first date.
That's like 2 years in when you're committed.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like,
And
I
there's no
have
turning
all
back.
this time under my belt. I'm not going to be scared away by bedazzled labia bits.
I would.
I
still
would.
would.
I'd be like, I'm out.
But here's the thing. Would you judge someone
Yes.
who was just kind of like, hey, I got my wisdom teeth taken out 5 years ago. You want to see them? I kept them.
No, that's different.
That's different.
No,
that's
they're-
not a. That's
You
not
didn't make
your
it
genitals.
into jewelry
No.
though, and then wear it around.
You know what?
Because that would
That
also
would
be
be
a little
kind of
weird.
She was
brag,
wearing.
though.
She was wearing it around before. She felt lonely without it. She was-
No, like, this is the same way I feel, and this is weirdly more controversial for women who eat their own placentas.
oh yeah.
That's a
So-
weird one.
That's-
It's a little weird.
That's gross. Like, that's just leave it alone. Let me put it this way: if it could be put into a bin called medical waste, leave it alone.
The one thing that I find confusing about that is I understand it's full of nutrients and all this other fantastic stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can't you just have a vitamin?
No.
No.
Well, you can, and what they do is they dry it out and they powder it and put it into
I
capsules.
know that,
and
but
then
why
take
can't you
it.
just get like a normal vitamin that has all the taste that your body needs?
all
and
the
just-
tastes that my body desires?
That too, yeah. But it's a matter of why eat that when I can just take this nice pill that the doctor somewhere made for me full of all my vitamins?
Maybe that is what they're made of.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I don't need to know it. I don't need to be like, I've never had the thought of, this came out of me, time to chow down.
Well, also, if you guys are wondering, about like the condition of the labia, because I know I am.
Do you know what, Corey? I was wondering.
Yeah.
Tell me about the
Do you have
condition of the labia.
pictures?
So apparently it turned gray from the surgical fluid.
Hot.
So do you know how she fixed that problem? She just put some glitter on it. Just like
Now it's
sparkled
just
it up a bit.
tacky. I
Yeah,
like
it's like
this.
super tacky.
Now it's like a grade school project.
Yeah, right?
It's like this
Your
weird.
mom, I made this for you.
It's like
Glued
this
macaroni
stretched
to it.
gray leather with glitter and bedazzled.
It's not even leather at this point if she just put sparkles on it.
Also, if it's gray, they probably just put preservative in it. So it's probably real stinky.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
see, when we heard the title of this, I thought it was going to be like, she cut it up into little pieces, and then she like
Jesus Christ.
no, let me finish. Like put the pieces into like epoxy. And,
Oh,
like,
yeah. And
made a
like
thing
actually
out of
like
it.
made real jewelry
Like made
out of it.
real
Yeah,
jewelry
that's
out of it,
what I thought
and like
too.
maybe sold it as
Yeah.
like a weird like morbid curiosity piece, or to like
Which is different.
or like
Yeah.
diehard fans who were like, I can extract
Real-
DNA from
yeah,
this.
real obsessed with her or something.
Yeah, like Jurassic Park this shit. But instead, what we have is somebody who just went, this skin make necklace, and then just essentially bolted string onto it, dipped it into like dollar store glitter glue, and went, problem solved.
Do you think she shows this off if someone's like,
Yes.
"Oh, nice necklace"? She's
Oh,
like, "That's my
absolutely.
labia."
Is there a
She
picture
uses
of it?
it as like a
Conversation piece?
yeah, no, it was like a point of pride.
Icebreaker. This is my labia. I am Rachel.
But as well, she isn't a stranger to using body parts or bodily fluids for fashion statements. Because in 2015, she went viral, and I remember seeing this video. She went viral for posting a video talking about the benefits of sperm facials.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I mean, like, arguably, like, there's proteins and shit in there where I'm like, sure, I guess, whatever. But, like,
I feel like this
You have
just
to
comes
watch-
back to last week with our blue balls discussion. We're just gonna,
I feel
yeah,
like this-
babe, let me come on your face. It's good for your skin, girl. close your eyes.
it's like
Ah, you're welcome.
it's like that shitty lie I've heard multiple people say where it's like, oh, sperm. It's good for whitening teeth.
I heard one actually that was
Really?
on
What?
Facebook
Heard that.
today that was a guy telling his girlfriend when she wakes up in the morning, you have bad breath. So giving me a blowjob will make your breath better in the morning. And she was like, and she's like, I don't know if it's working or not.
I mean,
No,
like,
it's working.
I mean, maybe.
So she did it like every morning because she's like, oh well.
I mean, like, maybe because I know that, like,
no, you
stimulating.
just have dick smell then.
Well, yeah, no, but
and bad breath. Maybe twice. Maybe
no,
twice.
but like
Yeah,
stimulating,
dick
like
sweat in your mouth.
Yeah.
stimulating saliva production can like
No, because when
rinse
you're,
stuff
when
out
you're
of your
sleeping,
mouth.
you have that a lot. Because some people drool when they're
A
sleeping
lot
and
of
stuff, and then
people,
you
a lot
have
of people
like
have
the,
dry mouth though too because they sleep with their mouths open.
like you.
Yeah, like me.
I got a dick right here that I can bring over every morning for you.
We get up at the same time, so I was like, God, I guess Trevor, I'll see you tomorrow.
I mean, here's the thing. Why?
No, lots of protein. You don't need breakfast anymore.
You don't have to. Don't brush your teeth, babe. Just suck my dick.
It's an all-natural toothbrush.
Oh.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that would really get in all
I
the
don't-
cracks.
I don't
think-
brush my teeth. I just suck dick.
I also don't think there's a lot of guys who are like, oh yeah, babe, do you know what I find hot? When you grab my dick forcibly and grate it against the back of your molars, diamonds. In regards to the labia thing, I mean, like, if you want to make jewelry out of body parts, it's cool. I've definitely seen some stuff where it's like, hey, I made this necklace out of, like, finger bones or something like
Yeah,
that. Where I'm like,
no, that's cool.
sick. One of
Shark tooth necklaces, like,
that's different. That's not a person.
yeah, I guess so.
That's-
Yeah.
In a similar way, I would wear a leather jacket made of cow. I would not wear a leather jacket. Yeah, actually, no. I would wear a leather jacket made out of person. I take it back.
Could that be like a thing I put on my ID instead of organ donor? It's just skin donor for jackets.
Yeah, I assume so. Instead of donating my body to science, can I donate it to art so people can like use my body parts to make weird shit?
I would be
That'd be
okay with
cool,
that.
actually,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you specifically donate it to someone? Can I go like, I
Yeah.
donate my body to Zach.
Actually, I
Do
know
with it what you will.
I know 100% you can, because there was this guy in England who donated his skull to a theater in England specifically so that they could use it as York.
Oh,
Hamlet.
nice. That's cool.
That's
And
cool.
it's one of the only ones that's been done recently with a real human skull.
That's pretty rare.
That's sweet.
And if I remember correctly, the guy who was playing Hamlet, and that was like David Tennant and stuff, and it was like it was big news for a while there. So I think you can leave like your body parts, your specific body parts to people within reason. I don't think you can be like,
I was really hoping it could get really detailed.
I'll leave my penis to my bitch of an ex-wife, Stacy. Like, I don't think you could go like.
You
My
might be able
one
to
nut
put it in
over
your
to
will.
Corey, and the other one to Zach, and Trevor gets the dick.
Yeah, but
Everybody send me their bodies. No weird sex stuff, promise.
You know, I didn't assume there was gonna be weird sex stuff until
Now I'm
you
worried.
specified.
Yeah.
Now that
No. Don't worry. No
No,
weird
no,
sex.
no, no, no.
Yeah. No.
Corey, if you can guarantee you will do one of the two things I already have planned for my body, I will donate it to you.
I would do anything
Okay.
for you.
I would do anything
Yeah, you
for
would.
love. Alright, the two things. I either need to be cremated, loaded into an air cannon,
Oh, here it
and
goes.
blasted out over the funeral to It's Raining Men.
Oh my god, that is perfect.
This is his dream for the last like 5 years.
Or I want to be taxidermied with my arms up like a bear, and then just like kept in the front closet of someone's house. So when someone opens it up to put their jacket in, they have a small heart attack.
See, that
What
one's
if you
illegal,
were-
so I won't do
That's
that.
not illegal.
You cannot taxidermy humans. I have read that somewhere.
More like he was looking it up.
Yeah, I wasn't specifically looking it up, but it came up.
What if I used you as
the-
like a coat, like your hands as coat hangers?
No, I have to be in a closet so it scares people.
Oh, okay.
Either that or like you need to do something weird where it's like animatronics.
What if you're just like you're visible from my front window and I have like underlighting so people can just kind of like see
Oh, that's
you
fine.
in the
Yeah,
dark?
yeah. Either that or I just want like full Viking funeral and like coins over my eyes, and I want to be like a priest of every religion there and that kind of, just to hedge my bets.
I know how to shoot a bow,
Yeah,
so
see?
we can cast you off into the river, and I can shoot a flaming arrow
Yeah.
into your bow.
No, absolutely.
My favorite
I
part
told
would be
you
the
that.
train wreck that is you missing like the first 20 shots.
I mean-
Slowly going down the river and you're like,
I mean,
bye Zach.
I haven't shot a bow since like I was 14, so
That sounds about right.
yeah, that's probably something that would
I
happen.
want you and Megan to do that specifically because when
I've never even shot a bow.
I know,
before.
but when I talked to you earlier, you wouldn't drink poison and then climb in my boat like the Egyptians did in the tomb.
No,
so
not
I
fucking
mean,
doing that.
you should probably shoot
I'm
the
not
bow
fucking
then.
doing that.
Well,
Listen-
Megan, I think that you have a real problem with commitment.
Yeah, she won't drink poison and go into my tomb. She won't allow me to have concubines to put in my tomb. She won't allow slaves to go in the tomb.
Maybe if you really loved me, you would kill yourself if I died.
Yeah, that's science.
Alright, now that we've all had our fill of sperm facials and
Never.
labia jewelry,
You're not the boss of me.
I'm
We're
never full.
Get over here, fellas.
The thirst that cannot be quenched.
so we're gonna move on to our next segment here. One person in this group has a fuck ton of money, and it's me.
Must
Yeah,
be
yeah,
nice.
Okay.
Big surprise.
Oh yeah.
So I have so much money, and I really want to make my own TV show. I want to produce my own TV show. I've gotten just so good at producing this podcast that I have to go and produce a TV show.
Nice.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's true. I heard that one other episode we've done so far.
yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
pretty big.
Yeah. So you guys are gonna pitch me your TV show ideas. We're gonna start with Trevor.
I think mine's pretty good, but it's my own idea, so I mean, of course, I think it's good.
Original content. Do not steal.
It is. I'm pretty sure. I didn't bother checking to see if it's been done before. So it's a matchmaking show, but instead of finding people who are compatible, they find the people who are least compatible at all, and then forcing them to go on like a blind date with each other, and then just filming the train wreck that happens.
I would actually watch that.
Do you have
yeah.
a name for it?
No,
I call it opposites attract.
except I hope none of them attract, and it's just like people fighting and getting mad at each other, and the awkward kind of like silence and cringe humor that surrounds that, because that's just the kind of humor that I like.
Just like some dude bro and a woman who's like doing her PhD thesis.
Yeah, stuff like that.
All right, just bro, I'm gonna fucking
See
kill
that
it.
football game?
The waiter comes up to the table, asks them what they would like to drink. Yeah, I'll get 2 shots of tequila and 1 for the lady.
Man,
I don't drink actually.
you
do.
got to have it as like a secret prize though. Like if somebody falls in love and like it actually works despite the odds, $1 million. Just $1 million.
like a game show.
Like a game, but a secret game. You don't like advertise it. It's just if it happens
But
at
what
the
if
end of the
people
show.
watch,
But
like,
you can
the
only do
first
it once
episode,
then.
though,
Yeah, and then you
people-
end it on a high note because true love does exist.
I guess you could do it like
Fucking cynics.
you could bait people into it. Be like, oh, like we'll set you up with somebody that we think will be a good fit, and then
Yeah.
like if you guys decide to get married or something, like we'll pay for the wedding.
See, the thing is, whoever I matched up with, even if I did not give a fuck about them, I would just make the deal with them like, hey, sham wedding, let's do
Yeah,
this.
but that's because you're a fucking money.
Yeah, but then you're
Yeah,
gonna
okay.
have to pay to do the divorce.
no,
Yeah.
No, I'm paying for the wedding. No prenup.
Anti-prenup. We're gonna make it. We're gonna do a prenup that says you can't get divorced. It's legal.
Ever.
Ever. It's stuck in there. You're gonna have to kill her.
Jesus Christ.
I think I can do that for that amount of money.
You would do that for one really cool party.
Yeah.
Don't worry, guys. Guess who didn't have to buy booze?
Yeah, to be fair, he didn't say you're leaving with anything. You just get a wedding.
Oh, I thought like I was getting
Yeah.
like $1 million or something.
No, that's what
No,
I
no,
said.
no.
He said no.
Oh
we'll pay
no,
for your
fuck
wedding.
that then. Yeah.
No, it's too late. You already said yes.
I mean, now I'm on the record saying that I would murder my wife for $1 million
Or a good wedding.
or a good wedding.
It's still less than or more than a good story, so you're fine.
There we go.
Fuck me.
All right, I like that idea.
Right? I thought it was pretty good.
I'm gonna shelf it. I'm gonna put it up on the shelf.
That means it's not coming down.
Yeah.
He can't reach up high on the shelves.
Find
I
this
want-
little step stool, put it up there.
Oh no, I lost my step stool. Story, Trevor.
I'll get them next time, I guess.
Next, we're gonna hear Tyler's idea.
All right. So this isn't going to be any of this reality TV bullshit. We're getting in the nitty gritty. We're doing we're going to go for a more teen audience. We're going to be doing something like that sweet CSI.
Oh no, it's just Riverdale.
But it's
isn't it?
taking place in a high school. So you're going to have this dude who works with the school security to solve crimes.
Ooh,
And it's
Fillmore?
edgy.
Are you pitching?
that was such a good show.
Are you pitching the Disney show Fillmore? Yes! Called it. Boom!
For people at home, Tyler just
Opened up the wiki page of Fillmore that he was reading off of. Fuck. I'm so good. Ah, man. Give me the $1 million.
But you see, it's a reboot like Riverdale. So they're going to be
Is he still black?
He's so black.
Is his partner still a hot goth chick?
With bigger tits.
Oh, man.
They're children.
Doesn't matter.
No.
they're children in Riverdale.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
not in
it's
junior high
fine.
anymore. Now they're in high school.
It's high
Oh,
school. It's okay.
So it's okay because they're
Everything.
16.
No,
Every-
it's alt reality high school where high school starts at 18 and goes till
20.
And plus, don't forget, all the actors and actresses are all like in their 30s, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
The
They're just
important
portraying
and
numbers.
anything that is, sexual in nature, it's just implied. You see them about to bang, and then you go to after the bang. But you make sure you show a lot of cleavage, and of course, like Fillmore in High School X, you just add a couple more X's and we're good. Zach, I have the page open. The high school is literally called X Middle School. Is where they went.
Yeah, it's called X Middle School because the idea is like, oh, it could be any middle school.
No. Now you just add a couple
Oh,
X's.
damn.
We're Riverdale now. Everyone's
No, because
fucking.
XXX High School, I guarantee, is already taken by 17 different porns.
But you see, we got everything that kids crave. You got diversity. You got
Diversity.
big titty goth GF.
It's true.
You got high school students they can kind of relate to because they're beautiful people who they want to be.
You got security. You
Yeah.
got crime.
You got people stealing the goods from a bake sale. You got people getting baked at a bake sale.
Oh,
You got people fucking in the janitor room. You got the janitor fucking people in the school.
Oh man,
How many people are fucking on the stairs?
Way too many.
Oh man, you have that one episode where he goes back to Georgia for some reason and gets locked in a room, but he finds out the room isn't a perfect square because that's where they were hiding the stolen pecans.
Yes.
That was the best episode.
That was
That
Praline.
one was
Oh, it was
actually-
Praline.
It was Praline.
Fuck, it was
I
Praline.
remember that episode.
Shit, that was the best episode.
I love that show
Why
so
isn't
much.
that show back?
I've never seen it.
Okay.
It could be.
It's so good.
It
They're
could
hall
be if you
monitors.
fund this.
Yeah,
But they're like cops.
They're hall monitors, but they like jump off the second story of the library to
I have
like.
to look this up now
meet-
because I feel like I might
Oh,
have
it's
seen
crazy.
This.
They like jump off the second story to like drop kick a dude in this like motherfucker. You turn on the
Was
sprinklers.
it a
too early.
cartoon?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's Disney Channel.
Oh, it's so
Yeah.
good.
It was so good. They gave Fillmore like huge, thick, like Coke
Oh,
bottle
I
glasses.
have seen this.
Yeah, it's so good.
I definitely remember in grade 8 going to my principal's office and
Yeah.
proposing the same kind of thing as what is in Fillmore. A group of students who go around and make sure everyone's following the rules.
Yes, vigilante justice.
Yeah. I actually went to my principal's office and proposed that to the principal and got a very polite no.
And here's the thing: it's just like Riverdale. It doesn't have to make sense
Yeah.
at all.
Will you deal with school shooters?
I mean, we'll deal with them as strong as Fillmore would.
Choking them to death with his weird sash?
Yeah, of course.
Alright, we're gonna go to Zach's idea after Tyler's fucking showstopper.
Alright.
Yeah, have fun.
Yeah, alright. What's big on the internet?
Porn.
Cats.
Step sibling porn.
Puppies.
Ah,
Puppies
Yeah.
are big on the internet.
They're
You know what
fun.
else is big on the internet?
Cats.
Memes.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
Oh,
True.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah, oh,
Yo,
dude, yeah,
it's
it is.
pretty big,
You
yeah.
smush them together.
I haven't watched it.
RuPaul's
You should watch.
Dog Race.
Oh shit.
I like it.
RuPaul's Dog Race.
How does it work?
You do it similar to Toddler and Tiaras.
Oh,
So
like
you have,
it.
you have the owners and they like do up the pops and they do like little competitions and like agility stuff. Except we're going to add the third judge, who in addition to RuPaul, is still it's going to be set up exactly the same way. They still do lip sync for your life. They still do all that stuff for RuPaul.
How are they lip syncing for their life?
The dogs howl along to the songs.
Oh,
and dances.
okay, perfect.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah. RuPaul still comes out and does the whole cover girl, put that bass in your walk, the whole 9 yards, all done up. We're gonna keep Michelle Visage because she's great, but also just for that little bit of extra oomph, that little bit of extra internet cred. Third judge is going to be Guy Fieri because
fuck yes.
he will
Holy
judge
shit!
anything.
I was going to ask if Guy Fieri
It's
could be
going
the
to be
judge.
Guy
Oh my
Fieri.
god! How did you know?
Third seat, and then classic RuPaul, we have the fourth just like open slot that we cycle through, in a similar way that the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race wins $100,000 and a makeover set and something like that. We're gonna have it so the little paparuskis get a year's supply of some like real high end like raw dog food. And then the owners still get $100,000. We're gonna do this whole thing. It'll encourage a bunch of people to get like huge Instagram accounts for their dogs and stuff. A lot more dog videos online. People will take care of the dogs more. And then I'm thinking season like 2 or 3, we do one where it's rescue dogs. And then when the dogs get voted off, they have a much higher chance of being adopted, and that way we can spin like a whole like charity thing into it every once in a while.
I like that.
I like it to a point, but now I'm like, what about those poor toddlers and TRs who's like, yo, Betty, I'm fat and tired.
No.
I'm living my life through you, Betty. You walk the walk, you little shit.
No,
And I'm worried these poor pups are being overworked and they're like,
Oh, no.
more.
Oh, no,
They're
no.
like, you fucking get on Toon Spot.
no, because as soon as you become like a celebrity on like a TV show like this, there's animal rights stuff that is actually has to be looked over by TV shows. So we're still gonna have it like no animals were hurt in the making of this.
We're not having like that Milo and Otis thing where
No.
you found out like 50 cats
No,
drowned
exactly.
or something.
And also, if we find out that you abuse your dog,
Disqualified.
we shoot you in the back of the head.
Oh, okay.
Just
Oh, wow.
execution. RuPaul pulls out like like a little danger out of their garter. Gets you to kneel down in the center of that like T stage and just pops you one in the brainstem. Hard zoom into the face and just goes, you know what's coming. This could happen to you if you do this. And that it plummets because every season RuPaul gets a little more armed. Every time we're building some weird dog protector Terminator.
Instead of RuPaul's Drag Race, it'll just be RuPaul's Dog Protector.
Yeah, we'll slowly turn it into RuPaul the Dog Bounty Hunter.
Nice.
And she's just walking around kicking doors in. But we're going to start with RuPaul's Dog Race and go from there.
There we go, yeah.
That's fair, yeah.
I like that. It's not Fillmore. Megan, what is your idea?
Alright, well, mine was kind of spur of the moment thinking, so...
Yeah, everybody knew that we were doing this
Except
segment,
for me.
except for Megan.
So mine was horror movie characters, but like in like an everyday, like they just have to go through life, but being the horror
So
movie
it's like
character.
Jason working a 9 to 5.
Yeah,
That's
and like
sweet.
Freddy
Yeah.
and stuff like that, where it's like you kind of just go through other people, like their lives and how they have to deal with just normal everyday shit.
I can just imagine, like, the dude from Saw, Freddy.
Wait, what's the name of the dude from Soccer?
I have no fucking clue.
That old
Jigsaw.
man dying
Jigsaw.
of cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
Christopher Walken.
You fucking-
Jigsaw, Freddy, Chucky, just all standing in a circle with Jason, and Jason will just do some like slapstick bit, and everyone's like, Jason.
Can Chucky work at Build-A-Bear?
Oh my gosh,
Wait,
yes.
can you have it set
No.
up so the way they all meet is like horror, like anonymous stuff, and they're
No.
like recovering, trying not to kill or something like that?
That would be great.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And or always just cut to Jason and he's just lying motionless in the bottom of a lake waiting for people to show up every summer. And the running joke is you just cut to him and all he's doing is laying there.
I just had a brilliant idea. What if it's like an alternate reality, air quotes, Big Brother? Where it's like, so there's the horror reality, and so their Big Brother challenges are just going and doing real life stuff.
Yeah, they're like, how do I do this though? I've never had to do any of this.
How do I open a bank account?
Without chopping someone's head off.
Okay, guys, you have to cook, craft dinner.
You got to keep it like true to the characters. Like Jason can't talk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Freddy
no.
tries to rape kids.
Jason also just dies in water. So
No,
like,
he doesn't.
yeah, he does. His weakness is water.
It's not his fire.
No, that's Freddy.
No, Jason lives in a lake. I don't know.
No, his weakness is water because
It
he
is.
died from drowning as
No,
a kid.
Because he
It
comes.
is.
Out,
I think I'm
in
gonna
the,
trust Megan on
in the
this
first
one.
movie, he comes out of
Okay,
the
have
lake
you
and does the
seen
whole-
Freddy versus Jason?
Yeah,
No?
it
You don't have
explains
to
it.
talk then. You haven't seen it, then you can't
Yeah.
say anything.
I'm not going to see the movie
I watched
where
Freddy
a woman.
versus Jason when I was like 5.
I'm not going to trust the movie where a woman calls Freddy a faggot like it's okay. I'm not going to be like, that's the source of information for me.
I can already hear the complaint emails.
I'm already having
fine.
problems with this.
Any publicity is good publicity.
I don't think that's true. I've never seen anybody who came off of To Catch a Predator better than they were when they went on. Just because their name was on TV doesn't mean they're suddenly better.
Have they had
They
any
got lots of money
reoccurring
still.
characters on To Catch a Predator?
Yes,
How
there
do-
were.
Hansen.
No, I meant like they catch the same dude like twice.
Well,
Yes.
there was one
I
episode.
keep
think-
accidentally dirty talking 6-year-olds.
I think in the first season, maybe the first 2 or 3, they didn't actually have police. So the best they could do was be like, "Don't do that.
Shame.
Off you go."
Shame.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah,
it was
'cause
just like a public shaming
Yeah,
thing.
it was entrapment.
Yeah. And so before they got like the whole workaround where, oh, the cops didn't bring you here, we brought you here, and the cops just so happened to be outside, haha. They caught a dude, and then he's like, oh, I'll never do it again, I'll never do it again. And then the next day, it was the same guy, and they like met him at a McDonald's, and they're like,
Really good.
we just talked to you yesterday.
I'll never do it again.
And they're like, you understand? We can't believe you. This doesn't look good.
Yeah, So what are you gonna do, Chris Hansen? You gonna take him outside and throw down? Like,
See, like, as much as, like, in those shows, they're going, like, they're taking down people that are doing terrible, terrible things, I still feel like the people, like, behind that show, they're dicks. They're assholes.
I mean, they're profiting off of pedophilia.
They're not, exactly.
that's
Like,
true.
They're not doing it because they care. They're
And
just like, oh, this will hit that emotional button in all people and we'll make money.
Well, and at a certain point, like, what's got to be real terrible for the producers and stuff is you kind of don't want pedophilia to stop, because then you don't have a job.
Conflict of interest.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh shit, we solved pedophilia.
Well, time to stop the show, I guess.
Better update my resume.
Well,
No, then you
sorry,
have
Chris.
fake people
Time to take
go
you
on.
out behind the barn. I don't.
Yeah, but like, who would like? You can't get people to agree to fake be a pedophile
No,
on
I
TV.
guess
Well, no,
it's-
but you can get people.
Yeah,
to
you can do that.
First of all,
No,
I've
because
seen
if
a,
someone sees you on there and they actually
Yeah.
believe it's true, then they're gonna be like,
I don't know. I've seen a lot of shit on like
Even like
Springer and
like
Maury and
CSI
stuff.
or FBI, they're like, he raped 8 kids. He's
But-
like, I raped 8 kids. Like, there is audio and video of this actor saying, I raped 8 kids.
Well, now there's audio of you saying it too, Tyler.
Yeah. I edit this. I'm in the works for making a theme song right now. I now have an audio clip of you saying I rape 8 kids.
This
I
podcast
didn't
was a
say it.
mistake.
I'm not saying it.
It'll just be a clip of me being like, I raped 8 kids, and then Tyler being like, I raped 8 kids.
No, you just got to use it for some like dubstep thing where you're just building up, and then right, blah, 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 and right before it stops, I raped 8 kids. Wow.
But no, back on topic though, you can very easily pay someone to go like, yeah, fuck it, I'll go on the show. I'll be the kid raper.
It's true. There's a lot
And
of
that
best
was
for
the
people.
last thing on your resume ever.
Oh, Tyler appeared. Let's check his IMDb page. Fake child rape. Ooh. No.
With a little note, not real, I promise.
Who wins? I
Me.
got.
I win.
I win. You know what? Maybe the real shows are the friends we made along the way.
All right, so now that I've heard everyone's pitches, I just gotta say, Trevor, I really liked your idea.
Oh, so I win.
No, I'm
Congrats.
sorry.
Thanks.
I don't want my name attached to a reality show.
Why?
It's ruining TV.
That's
Yeah,
objectively
it's,
not
But
true.
TV like, barely even exists
It's
anymore.
I mean,
Ruining
that's
TV.
fair. Yeah. And I'm gonna say, Zach, I liked your idea.
Thank you. I-
But
it's ruining
it's
TV.
just not memey enough. I'm sorry.
it's not Mimi in it?
That was the
Yeah.
most.
It's
mean.
pretty memey.
No.
Also, I'm taking 2 things that have already been proven to work and didn't get canceled after a season, like Fillmore.
Shut up.
Sorry, was it 2 seasons?
I think it was like 3.
Oh shit.
Ah.
Oh fuck, it's only on season 11 of RuPaul's Drag Race. Fuck.
And Megan, I like your idea, but I see it more as like a web TV show kind of thing. Like Dorkly or College Humor could do like a 10-minute episode every week. And like while that is definitely something that would be cool to do, it's not as profitable as broadcast TV.
Yeah, it's a BuzzFeed comic.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Ooh.
due to process of
So
elimination, that means that Tyler's Fillmore reboot wins.
With this completely original idea.
It's not copyright infringement. I
Yeah.
promise.
Yeah.
You
I
wait,
mean,
wait.
you got-
Are you,
you
Walt
got-
Disney's dead.
yeah,
Nothing he can do about it.
are you magically rich enough to fight Disney's lawyers?
Yes.
I have just.
We've decided
I
he's
have an entire house full
ultra
of money.
rich.
Wow.
Wow.
You know what? I still
How
don't
Like
think.
a house.
I
Like
still
a
don't-
mansion.
House
Yeah.
smaller than note denominations.
I still don't think a house packed with hundos is enough to buy out Disney.
No, I don't think so either.
I mean, I'm not gonna buy Disney, but I will. I'll buy the IP.
Hey Disney, remember this thing you haven't touched in like 16 years or something?
All that's gonna happen is you're gonna say, "I will give you $5 million for Fillmore," and they're gonna go,
Yeah, sure.
Man.
Whatever.
That's a good idea.
"People
We're
really
gonna do
want Fillmore. We're gonna start up Fillmore."
No matter what
Either
happens,
way, we get
a
Fillmore.
Fillmore
Yeah.
reboot.
Yeah, exactly.
But that means he loses.
With
so you
high
don't get it.
schoolers, big titties,
This isn't working as well.
because they're
as
in
I
their
thought.
30s, it's fine, the actors. And
The actors with their big titties.
Oh, I thought we were putting big titties on the high school.
Big titty
Big
high.
titty high. Oh shit, never mind. That's my pitch. Give me the money for big titty high.
It's just like regular high school, but everyone has big titties.
Yeah,
Everyone?
we're just gonna do a shot-for-shot remake of Degrassi, but everybody has big titties.
Yes.
even Drake.
Yes.
Especially Drake.
Got them wheelchair
We
titties.
will get Drake back to play the same character, but just the big old bahungas on him. Just real big hamunganas.
I mean, Degrassi already did some pretty outlandish shit, like the one episode where like the main good girl character went and gave a dude a blowjob in a van
Why though?
and
Why
got
is-
herpes.
Why is that out there?
Didn't
That
they
happens
already
for-
do a Degrassi remake though?
Which one?
No, Degrassi is just Degrassi was a show in the 80s,
I think they remade.
and
Degrassi.
then in the late, I think it's like mid 90s, they did a revamp of it that still had like where the old characters were now the parents of the new characters. And then it's been ongoing since then, with just like characters cycling in and out as they leave high school.
Oh man, wait a minute. Can I do a remake of Glee?
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
that was a cultural like movement that lasted exactly a year and a half before everyone went, "This is the worst."
I loved Glee.
Yeah, you would.
I loved
Yeah,
Glee.
you would.
Yeah.
Didn't one
I
of the
never
Glee
watched it.
actors like kill himself because he got caught with like child porn or something?
No, I think
No.
The dude with,
I
like, the
think
fish
he
lips.
overdosed or something.
No, No, you're thinking there is the one who overdosed, but there is the one who straight up killed himself because it turns out he was jerking it to little kids.
Which one was that?
Puck.
The one with
What the heck?
the one with
Really?
the weird
Yeah.
mouth.
Puck. No, it wasn't the one with the weird mouth.
He-
No, it was the guy with the mohawk, wasn't it?
Yeah, doesn't he have a weird like fish mouth?
Oh,
No,
Weird
no.
fish mouth dude.
No, it's the one with the yeah, I was right.
It's like,
It's
I
the
Yeah,
one with
yeah,
the-
okay, yeah, I just looked it up and it was Puck.
Yeah, the most objectively attractive guy on the show.
He was attractive. He's also an asshole, but
I
he
don't
was
think he
attractive.
looks
Yeah,
good. He looks
definitely.
like someone who kicks dogs.
Or tries to fuck kids, yeah.
Yeah, both
See, like-
the worst two traits you can have.
Wait a minute.
New segment. Who on Glee is the most attractive?
Either Mr. Shoe for the guy,
Oh, yeah, I would hit Mr.
or Santana? Was that her name?
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
she was hot. Yeah.
Mr. Shoe sounds like it'd be something like Mr. Hands.
It is. Yeah, no, maybe it's Mr. Hands, but instead of a horse, it's a walrus.
Oh,
There we go. Yeah.
possibly.
Yeah.
See, the guy, I think he came in like second season. The guy who ended up being the boyfriend of the gay guy who was main cast.
Okay, so not.
He went to like the fancy private school.
Yeah, not. What's his name? Kerr?
Not Kurt, but
My
Kurt's
goodness.
boyfriend.
Sunken?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Doofus?
Doofus, yeah.
This week on Gleecast.
My sister was obsessed with that show.
I owned the entire box set for
God.
Glee.
Like
Ooh.
season 1 through whenever they
Yeah,
stopped
yeah,
that
yeah.
shit.
I owned everything.
Oh, never mind. The most attractive one is the one where they shame the guy in the wheel. The best episodes where they shame the guy in the wheelchair for not wanting to date a girl with Down syndrome after they've proven it's fine to have girls not want to go out with him because he's in a wheelchair. That was the best.
Yeah, that's
That
a
was-
little problematic.
That was great. 10 out of 10. Next segment?
Yeah.
Please.
We're gonna move on to the next segment. I want you guys to tell me a story.
Well, I'm copping out of this.
I have a shitty, like, short, bad story, or more of a realization, I guess.
Yeah, go for it, dude.
Cool. So, somebody the other day brought up the fact that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson
Oh no, here we go.
was going to run for president,
Yeah.
which 100% has my vote. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we live
Our
in
vote
Canada.
that matters.
I know, shut up.
Yeah.
But they didn't say Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. They just said Dwayne Johnson.
So he didn't know who
And
it
it
was.
took me like 30 seconds of sitting there being like,
Who is
who
that?
the fuck is Dwayne Johnson?
Why do people care?
Because in my head, it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In a similar way,
The people's champion.
yeah, the People's Champion. In a similar way as to if I turned to somebody and just said Steve Austin, it takes a couple seconds to realize that I'm referencing Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's that little gap because it's all one phrase. It's Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
It's not Dwayne Johnson. It could just be The Rock. In a similar way, Stone Cold Steve Austin. You could just call him Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Which could be referring to the creamery or the man. But I had to talk to Megan about this, and she thinks I'm an idiot.
That's why I went, oh boy, here we go again.
Yeah,
I agree,
monster.
but I understand.
Thank you. It's a weird.
Because he's like, oh, if I say Dwayne Johnson, who do you think of? I'm like, The Rock. And he's like, well, why do I not hear that when I?
No, it's Dwayne The Rock Johnson. It's like one name. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
It's a really long one name.
Yeah, well, he's a very big man.
You have to separate it. So instead of Dwayne The Rock Johnson, you have to keep in your mind Dwayne Johnson.
Now
Johnson.
The esteemed kids movie actor. He's the Tooth Fairy.
He did one kid. He did
He's
one.
right up there with my boy Ice Cube.
Oh, Ice Cube's so hard though, right?
I mean, I don't understand why I'm supposed to think of him as Dwayne Johnson, actor for the last 10 years, instead of The Rock,
The wrestler,
greatest wrestler of an era,
Yeah.
who was all over, who went on like Regis and Kelly as like The Rock.
And not just a regular old wrestler, but a dynasty wrestler.
Third generation.
Yeah, third generation
Also,
wrestler.
if I bring up Dwayne Johnson and I'm like, oh, name a big your favorite thing that Dwayne Johnson said. Nobody names anything that he acted in. It's always, do you smell what The Rock is cooking, or something referencing the people's elbow?
Yeah, I'm honestly curious here though. Do you guys think with the rise of Dwayne Johnson that coincided with the decline of Brendan Fraser though?
No.
Because I feel like one started coming up,
right.
and then Brendan Fraser got weird.
They kind of share similar roles.
They don't.
I think
Also,
they kind of
The
do.
Rock's first movie
Was with
was
Brendan
with
Fraser.
Oh
yeah.
shit, he was in the Mummy.
Yeah.
As
Oh,
the
he was the Scorpion
and
King.
and
Really,
the
really bad
animation
CGI.
the animation
So
that
terrible.
they did was so
Okay.
fucking
No,
bad.
that's the time. That's when Dwayne Johnson
Even
started
Jack was
sucking
much
Brendan
better.
Fraser's acting sauce.
I don't think that.
That's when they coincide.
Don't say that.
No.
Don't say that part.
That's when they met, and then he lost his juju.
Don't say that part after you just sucked his acting sauce either.
I'm just curious if we went on Google Trends and figured out, just coincided the release of The Mummy, and then with Brendan Fraser's decline and Dwayne Johnson's, rising up. I wonder if those things mirror each other in any way.
It's like that Charlie
Maybe.
Day meme where he's connecting all the dots
Yeah, like that.
on the board.
Except it's like 2 search trends we'd have to
No.
There's
It's like
3 dots.
it's more like the graph where they have number of movies Nicolas Cage is in, and they compare it to number of deaths by drowning in swimming pools, and they're like, you can see the correlation there. They exactly match up.
Yeah, I'm just curious because I feel like once The Rock came, Brendan just, I don't know what he's doing now. I've seen some pictures.
He's
and
all worn out.
I've seen some pictures and he's a frumpy looking nerd.
Well, that's because his ex-wife was getting so much alimony, and it was sucking him dry.
No, that was The Rock.
I'm sorry. The Rock was showing up and sucking him dry? Is that what you're trying to say here?
Yes, that's the
Okay.
point.
Man, I can't wait till Dwayne The Rock Johnson shows up and kicks the shit out of you with that big grin on his face.
I mean, it'd be a story.
Also, I just realized I said he was only in one movie for children, completely ignoring the fact that he was in Moana. Which is arguably the biggest...
Wasn't he also in some movie where he's like a babysitter?
No, I think you're thinking Vin Diesel for The Pacifier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good
Jesus
movie.
Christ.
I liked
That was
that
a good
movie.
one,
Yeah.
Okay, so now we think that Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel are the same person.
They're both bald, muscly guys, yeah.
Yeah, I can see
Well, one
that.
is clearly more
Weren't
attractive
they-
than the other one.
Yeah, and it's
Weren't
Dwayne
they both
Johnson.
in Fast and
Yeah.
Furious?
Yes, they were... Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so...
But then that's a movie full of bald, muscly guys.
I mean, just the two, really. Well, Jason Statham.
There you
You're
go.
right. 3. My
Yeah.
mistake. Fuck.
Apparently, Brendan Fraser has
he
been
did
out of the
the research.
limelight lately.
Yeah.
Well, lately, I mean, like, for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, for the past little bit.
Because he's been in and out of the hospital for like 7 years.
Oh.
Because The Rock's been sucking.
The Rock was big in wrestling before Brendan Fraser was the thing, though.
Yeah, but he
But he
needed
didn't move into
Brendan.
acting
He needed
until-
Brendan's acting
Yeah.
skills. So he's just been giving him the suck.
The suck. That's what we're calling this now.
The big
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
This is the most important conspiracy theory of our generation.
It's okay, hon. It's okay.
This is the worst thing.
It's okay.
Zach is just devastated.
It's okay. You'll get through this.
I'm sorry your hero is running on stolen power.
I wanted to be the first man to give The Rock the suck. But now we know that he's just involved in the suck all the time, and I don't...
No, but he was giving the suck.
It's too late.
Not
It's too late for
receiving.
that. The whole thing's ruined. I'm sorry, late.
So we wrapped up Zach's confusion about Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you for using the full time. Mr. Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Mr. Dwayne The Rock
you were
Johnson.
Future President of the United
United
States,
States,
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah, you were talking shit, so you have to call him
Sir,
Mr.
excuse
Future
me.
President of the United States, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
No.
Fuck.
It's his illustrious title.
Yeah, the illustrious Mr. Future President of the United States
Of America.
of America.
If your
Dwayne The
title
Rock
has
Johnson.
more syllables than your entire stupid fucking name, I'm not calling you that.
Hear that, Mr. Johnson? He wants to catch those hands. He wants to-
Yeah, I'd watch that.
Yeah, I would. Do you know what? I would love to watch Dwayne The Rock Johnson beat the
Johnson.
Johnson.
Illustrious?
Sorry. I defended him. I can call him Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
At least future President of the
Fine,
United
future
States of
president of the
America.
United States of America, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
Fucking beat the shit out of my good friend Tyler and just fucking give him the people's elbow.
You
until
know
he
what though?
can't
Like
move
me too,
anymore.
kind of.
Yeah, right? You know what? If anyone was gonna beat me up, the top of my list is dead, so that sucks. And the second one would be illustrious future president of the United States of America, Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
That's fair.
Nice.
I mean,
Alright, your brother.
Oh yeah. So Tyler has a story now as well.
I have a story now. That's
Don't name your brother.
gonna
Use
be
a
about
fake
my
name.
brother,
Michael.
Steve.
who isn't here to defend himself. So all the better.
Yeah, Michael.
Yeah, Michael. So my brother Bike. And this happened years ago. So I was probably about 12, 13. He was like 16, 17. We're just living at home, doing the home thing.
Living home.
And then I'm just like hanging out, and I hear my brother screaming, "Tyler, Jake's bleeding. His paws are covered in blood." I'm like, what the fuck? Okay, go
Who's
Oh,
upstairs.
Jake?
this story.
Oh,
His
Jake's
dog.
my dog.
Oh, okay.
He's a cute,
Yeah.
fluffy boy.
He's maybe the dumbest dog I've ever met.
He's-
What kind of dog?
He's a Shih Tzu Lasso Apso cross. He's a little white fluffer.
He's the stupidest dog I've met in my life. He has an underbite that might be the strongest underbite game I've seen in my life, and both eyes look like they're trying to look up into his ears.
Fuck yes.
And if you throw the ball, he'll grab the ball. He'll come back with the ball and start growling because he wants you to take the ball. So you go to take the ball from him, and then he just clamps down harder so you can't take it. In order to fulfill his wishes, you have to forcibly pry his mouth open, take the ball out, and then throw it. It's the worst.
It sounds like the kind of dog that only generations of inbreeding can create.
Correct. But he's perfect.
Yeah,
So
That's
I-
wonderful.
his grandpa daddy uncle.
So I go upstairs, check him, and I see one of his paws like covered in red. I'm like, "Oh, you sure he didn't get into anything?" And and my brother's like, "No, it's blood. I checked." I'm like, "How did you check?" He's like, "Oh well, I wasn't sure, so I licked his paw and it tasted like blood." So I'm like, "Okay." So we're going to wash. He's like washing off the dog in like the tub or something, and I'm like looking around the house to see where it could have happened. And I go to our upstairs bathroom.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
And I guess at some point, my mom was menstruating.
Oh no!
So there is a shredded pad on the floor.
Oh god.
There's a nice amount of blood on the
Oh,
tiles
that's so
next to it.
Oh.
Oh.
And here's the thing, at first I was like, oh, that's what happened. And then came the realization that
He licked it.
Oh,
brother.
Michael, what have you done?
Oh, gross.
No fucking
Did you have
way!
to tell him after?
Oh, of course. He's my brother. I have to.
And
So
then
Yo, dude, you totally licked mom's menstrual blood.
lol.
So here's the thing. I say, hey, Mike, come up here real quick. He's like, what's up? And I'm like, I found out what got Jake bleeding. He's like, what?
Wait, you let him come to the realization on his own?
Yes.
That's somehow worse.
Yes. That's how you treat people you love and care about.
You watch them break as a human?
Yes.
Yeah.
It took him a few seconds looking at it, and then you could just see the gears grinding, and then stop, and then the dry heaving beginning.
Oh god.
And you know what? That's that story. I don't know how to end that one.
Mike didn't kill himself though, so it's okay.
No, he's still around.
Yeah. But now I need to know, is he okay with eating out girls on their periods now? Or is it something that has scarred him for life and he won't even go near them?
You know what? I'll ask him that next
I
time.
mean, like, I know personally, I would never eat out a girl on her period, but like, I would and have had sex with a girl when she's on her period. Only if I'm in like a relationship have I done that though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't fucking look at me, hon. Fucking...
I see some kind of inside thing coming from Megan and Zach. What's up, guys?
Oh
I don't know what you're talking about.
Zach, care to chime in?
no. Corey, they only perform missionary sex for the sole purpose of procreation.
Yeah, I'm actually waiting for marriage, so...
Don't talk about sex on my Minecraft server.
Yeah. this is a Christian Minecraft podcast. I don't know what the frick you're talking about.
Oh god.
Oh, update by the way. He said no.
No.
Wow,
There you go.
Your brother's a real piece of shit.
No,
Well,
which
you look
one?
your mom's menstrual blood, but not mine.
Hey, no, if you're careful with it, it's fine. Don't fucking...
I just imagine coming up looking like a fucking murder
Shark
victim
Week.
in a horror movie. Is like, was it good for you?
That's Zach's tagline. Was that good for you?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no.
That's everyone who doesn't think they're good enough. It's just kind of like,
Yeah.
was that
I'd
okay?
say every like third time you're like,
Is that
is that
good?
okay?
Is that alright? Should I keep
Was
going?
that good
fine?
enough?
Are we done?
It was good.
I can help more. And
I can do other stuff. I don't...
We're holding my head down for a bit there. You just kind of let up. So like, what?
I figured we were done here. I
Was
don't
that
know.
good? Was that bad? I don't know.
I'm sorry for attempting to be a more considerate lover than my friends, I guess. We're sitting here fucking being like, nah, I don't fucking care. I got mine. Like, oops.
Excuse me, we had an off.
You have a tuna can penis that can't play for a woman. So you're
Shut
not
the
allowed
fuck
to
up.
discuss it.
We had
It took you 2.5 years to get
off,
laid.
off the record conversation about how I had a fuck session that went like 4 times in the night and then 4 times in the morning.
Yeah, well, when it's an inch long, it pops up if you look at it.
Please. Please.
No, you had to keep going because the first 3 times didn't work.
Corey, how much was drunk that night? How drunk were you two?
Both of us that night,
7.
pretty drunk.
So
I would
how would you know if it was
I would
good?
say like an 8 out of 10
How would you know if it was good for her if you were that
because
drunk?
Did you ask?
it was wild.
That doesn't
That
mean it was
doesn't
good.
mean
I can tell you that does not mean it was good.
Also, it happened again like 3 or 4 more times in the morning, and it was.
That still doesn't mean it's good. That means she's trying to get somewhere.
She's
I mean, she's not
number
done
8.
yet.
This
Number
is
eight's
the only
lucky
thing.
number.
This is the only thing I have that's holding my self-esteem
Well,
together.
you should probably go kill yourself, Corey, because I'm not.
Maybe
stopping
I
you.
should.
Corey's like, you know what? My life sucks, but you know, I fucked 8 times in 24 hours.
Number wise, impressive. Result wise, Gonna have to have her on the podcast so we can ask.
We don't talk.
Yeah,
Oh.
because after 8 times, it's not gonna happen. And she went a little bit
So how
down
good
after
was
8.
this fucking car?
I thought it was pretty great.
Well, you're gonna learn today.
That's it. I'm calling her. We're putting her
Oh god.
on
Just
on
the
on
voice.
voice chat, and we're gonna get her. No, we're
Was
not.
it as
No,
good?
we're not. No, we're not.
Was it as good for you as it was for me? Hey, it's me, Corey. Remember that time we fucked?
I'd be like, click.
Just
No,
like-
I would definitely say no and then hang up because that hurts more.
No,
Or just, who are you?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Ooh.
that's
that would
rough.
be, yeah, that would be the one.
Yeah,
the one. Ooh.
yeah, that would be a little hard.
Hey.
Hey!
Got him.
Alright, so weird news. Florida woman pulled knife on man who complained about her farts.
It's always fucking Florida.
It's because of the sunshine laws, man. Don't
Yeah,
fucking-
it's actually like a law thing.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah.
okay. So there's a thing in Florida where, unlike everywhere else in the world, where journalists can only get like access to a certain amount of news and it has to be like fed from the police. In Florida, there's what's known as the sunshine laws, which essentially set it up so that journalists can essentially just go and like look at police reports.
Oh, nice.
So that's why you get a bunch of stuff where it's like Florida man hits other man with live crocodile and shit like that because
That'd
you
be
can
great.
see it. All the weird shit everywhere else is just like
Hidden.
Hidden.
Yeah.
nobody knows.
Because there's some weird shit out
Oh,
there.
man,
that
there's
people
some
do.
great-
Yeah, oh
why?
yeah.
There's some great Florida man stories.
Florida man was my favorite person.
Florida
I'm
woman.
curious,
Yes.
who's in the right here? The dude who's like, stop ripping ass, you fucking stink.
Well, let me tell you more.
Okay. I don't have
So,
all the details.
Florida woman faces an aggravated assault charge after authorities say that she passed gas in line at a dollar store and then pulled a knife on a man who complained about it. So the dude ended up getting upset with her, and
She farted on his dick while he was waiting in line.
And then pulled a knife off.
Although that would be confusing. Just being like, oh, like, why did you have to do that? That was gross. What did you say to me?
Yeah. Apparently they got into like a pretty heated argument, and then she pulled like a small folding knife out of her purse and told the victim that she was going to gut him
With a small folding knife?
with a small folding knife. She was gonna gut him like a fish.
She's never gutted anyone before.
Probably
It's a lot
not.
of work.
Yeah, so she was arrested and charged with aggravated assault,
With a
which
knife.
makes sense. Yeah,
I mean, like, don't fart in line.
I mean, agreed.
Oh.
Yeah.
We
Don't.
had this dude, he was like, I was helping him, and then he like walked away, and then it was the worst smell ever. This lady walked around the other side of the aisle to come talk to me. She's like, oh my god, it smells so bad, don't go that way, but I need help. And I didn't go back over there, and I'm like, let's just go all the way around.
I mean, I've definitely farted in
So
stores.
bad.
Yeah.
No,
Oh, yeah.
but-
Only if you know it's gonna be silent, though.
But this smelled like the dude shit his pants.
Maybe he did.
Like-
Maybe he did, yeah.
Don't fucking shame him.
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe
that's his fetish,
maybe he
maybe.
has incontinence issues.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a medical thing, and you're making him feel bad now.
Maybe it's
He's
called-
listening to this podcast,
He
Yeah.
doesn't
and
know
he
what I'm
feels
talking
like
about.
shit
No, he
because
definitely knows it's him, and his colostomy bag broke because he's having issues, and he's going through serious medical stuff, and you come on here, and you say, this piece of shit man farted in my store.
I have a question. Is there
But like-
poopery, but like literally for your butthole?
There is also a pad with activated charcoal on it
Mhm.
that's like super Velcro-y.
Mhm. Yeah.
You can attach to the outside of your underwear, so when you fart, it absorbs most of the smell.
Yeah, and then
Huh.
it doesn't smell at all.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, a little
I feel
bit,
like it'll
but
still smell.
What smells like burnt charcoal?
And methane.
there's also these drops that you can get
Yeah.
that you can put in the toilet before you poop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
potpourri.
potpourri.
Poopery? Oh, I thought that you had just said potpourri.
You can just fire that up your asshole.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know about that
just
though.
shove the little bottle up your asshole.
Yeah. Then when you fart, it smells like roses.
It's like a bidet.
I don't think that's what bidets do.
I think.
No, they squirt your butt with water.
They don't go up your asshole.
Yeah.
The water could go up your asshole.
Then
Depends on
you're
how tight
bad
it
at
is.
No, it's like a gentle spray.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a nice.
It's like a
rinse.
water fountain. It's
Yeah.
not like a fucking super soaker.
I don't know how loose the butthole is. It
How
depends
loose is
on-
your- how
it's
loose
a
is-
person-to-person
How
basis.
loose is your butthole where you think I'm gonna put this next to a water fountain and the water just like
I'm not saying
works
my
its way up
butthole.
there?
I'm saying there's buttholes out there that
You're
are
like, nah,
looser than
guys, my
others.
butthole is so tight. I'm
Not
talking
everyone's
about
got a
the
real
average
nice
man.
tight ass.
Yeah, most people do though.
I feel like if you don't have a tight ass, you're just shitting everywhere.
I also don't think that's true.
If your butthole is loose enough that fountain water can just find its way in there, your butthole is loose enough that shit comes out.
It's probably already prolapsed at that point, like a little rosebud.
I still find it weird there's butthole chocolates.
What?
Oh,
What the fuck are you talking
Oh,
about?
you haven't
you can
seen
make
it?
your you can
Do a cast
Make-
of your butthole.
and then make chocolates.
yeah, and
That's fucking sweet.
it's like $75 for 3 chocolates, but it looks like your butthole.
That's
It's your
so
own little
sweet.
chocolate starfish.
That's fantastic.
No, the best one.
If anybody wants to get me a Christmas gift, that's it. That's it. That's what
Their
I want.
butthole.
I don't
Yeah.
want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to pay $75.
I want to eat the
What?
chocolate butthole
You wanna eat
of
my
all my
ass?
friends.
Sorry, you want to eat my ass?
You just gotta get like a set of everyone's buttholes.
No,
and you
no,
go
no.
like, oh, look, Zach's butthole
Yeah, we
is a
can-
little bit different shape than Trevor's
We could do
butthole.
that. Oh, we could have a little asshole eating party.
It's like, ha ha, ha, my asshole's bigger than your asshole.
Then we'll know whose butthole's getting the water.
No, the best one for the mold your own body part one is the one where you can take a mold of your own penis and make it into a dildo.
Isn't that for
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Army Wives type deal?
I don't think it's just.
Or is it
for
kind of
Army.
like,
Yeah.
your boy was going out to
Dude.
fight the war in Iraq, here's his cock.
No, I don't. It's a private service. I think everyone can use it.
Leave it as a calling card.
Is there a military discount?
There probably is, but I also wonder how many people have made a cast of their own
I
dick
could fuck
specifically
myself.
to fuck themselves.
Oh my god.
Right?
Ooh,
Hey,
yeah.
Tyler,
Yes.
go fuck yourself.
Maybe
Pay me.
I will. Because like that's got to be their #1 market, right?
I don't think it's #1 market.
I still think it's mostly for
I-
couples who are just kind of like,
Yeah.
baby, I know you need a masturbatory aid, but maybe it could also be my dick when I'm not here, though.
I could see that being for like you said, like Army wives,
Long distance
or
relationship
like
type
yeah,
deal.
long distance
Just use a
relationships,
normal dildo.
or
Also-
even like people whose like their husbands or their wives work in camp.
Well, they
Or-
make-
They
or-
go away like they're 2 weeks on, 1 week off.
They
kind
make
of
like
thing.
pocket pussies of like porn star vaginas, so just like dildos of porn star dicks. Like
That's
you get a
probably
Ron
also a
Jeremy
thing.
dildo.
Yeah.
No, that's
That would
definitely
hurt.
That's a
No,
thing.
no, this is
Yeah.
like
But that's probably the biggest
no,
market.
because this is like a private like they send you a kit in the mail to do it.
You
It's
can
not like a
have your
At
dead
home?
lover's
Yeah.
penis.
Yeah, at home.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Wait.
if I ever get married and that person ends up dying, I'm just gonna get a cast of his dick
or her zombie vagina.
or her zombie vagina. I'm just gonna cast it
What?
out, and then I'll have
You'll
my
always
masturbatory
remember
aid
them.
forever.
You just can't tell anyone
Or-
you decide to see in the future. What's that? Oh, that's a nice dildo. It sure is.
Or-
I
or
miss him
just-
so much.
Use a regular dildo or a regular pocket pussy and don't make it fucking weird.
Nah.
Definitely gonna have
No,
to
no,
make
no.
it
The
weird.
weird part is what gets you going, though. You're like, yeah, this was, yeah, fuck me, dead husband.
I mean,
Hey, that girl that was married to the ghost could have used it.
Yeah, from the last episode.
She's
There we
right.
go.
That
Oh,
was
that's from
first
the lost
episode that-
The
episode.
lost episode.
The lost episode.
also the pirate was from like the 1800s. What? She gonna go dig up his skeleton?
I mean, we really shouldn't get into it because nobody's ever gonna hear it.
No one's ever gonna hear your mom. I don't fucking know, dude. I started, and then I just kind of, I don't know where to go from here.
All right, well, we're just gonna move right into the next segment then. So this one's a bit of a thinker.
Oh no.
If you could do any drug with 0 consequences, what drug and why?
Cocaine.
A good one.
Oh, man, cocaine.
That was fast.
Why is that?
Well, I've met numerous people that do it, and no, actually, not
I whispered it. You, you
Whoa.
just whipped
Calling
it
him
out
out.
You guys hear that bus drive by?
Okay, now.
That's gonna be fun to beep out.
Yeah.
We didn't beep him out last time. Why
I
would we
didn't,
beep him out
because I
now?
edited out the entire segment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, let's just start
Yeah.
naming all of our friends real quick.
Yeah.
In a row.
Yeah.
These
no,
are all our
illegal
friends that do
drugs.
weird illegal shit.
No,
Use
no,
his
no,
last
no,
name and
someone
address.
else. Someone else, and it sounds like it would be a good time.
What are the horrible negative consequences of doing
The
cocaine?
next day.
Um,
That is. I have.
I've
I
heard
have
like you
tried.
have the worst hangover.
Oh,
I've
guess
ever-
what, Corey? This has been a sting operation. I shouldn't say that. We have police waiting outside.
I have tried it before, and I would have to say the biggest downside is the next day. Your heart is just racing. You feel like shit. Like
That's
you.
why you just keep.
Yeah,
doing
that's
it.
why you just do more
And
cocaine.
That's where the addiction issues come in. Is that you'll wake up that next day after like doing coke for like 16 hours, and then you feel like shit. So you just need to do more so that you feel better. That's the problem. Good thing is 0 consequences. You get to try it, and you don't get that little like next day thing.
Also,
Yeah.
there's other stuff like your nose melts.
Oh, I
eventually.
saw that
Yeah.
when
That's
you're like
only if you
lose.
do it wrong.
Yeah, or too much.
Too
Because
much.
at a certain point, it
I
just
know
wears
someone
away.
who does it like every day. Like he'll go to work.
That sounds like
He's done it,
that
and, like-
sounds like an expensive habit.
Oh,
It is.
dude spends like 10 grand a month just on that.
Oh man, I wish I could spend 10 grand a month.
I wish
on
I could just
basically
make
anything.
I wish
10
I,
grand.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
I wish I had 10 grand a
But
month.
there's- yeah, and there's other stuff like your dick don't work no more.
Yeah.
It makes your dick no work.
Oh,
What?
I've heard
That's
that it feels like you drink 30 cups of coffee all at once.
Yes.
Yeah. It
That's how it
pretty
works.
much what happens is you do it, and like 30 seconds later, maybe even quicker, you can do anything. You have that energy. You can
But
just
Corey,
fucking
I
go.
can't already do anything.
Yeah,
I've seen reading
I am
right now.
bipolar. I get manic episodes. Cocaine is like manic episodes. You feel like you can do anything. Tyler, what drug would you do if you could do any drug without any consequences?
Wait, only negative consequences, right? The good things still happen.
Good things still happen.
I did
negative
this
things
drug
do
and
not.
nothing happened to me.
And that,
I mean, I think it's just meth. I mean, that's like the go-to, right?
Yeah.
Every ex-meth addict is just kind of like, you know what?
It's the best thing.
thing that ever happened in my life, first time I did meth. Best experience. Had a few kids, gotten married, gotten divorced, gotten married 3
Fuck that
times
shit.
again. That's all great. Meth? Oh, fantastic. But you know what? I'm going to die if I keep doing meth, so I don't do meth no more. But
Yeah.
if I didn't have to worry about the maybe dying part, question. Do the negative consequences include me realizing that nothing will feel as good as this one time I did
Yeah,
meth?
it's
That's how it works.
entirely up to your. It's entirely up to your
Oh, man.
interpretation.
in that case, you could interpret it where you like never build resistance either.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I'll do meth.
Yeah. Cool.
Because yeah, it's like the
So
one
where
time
are we
I
now?
had
I'm
surgery.
I raped 8 kids. I want to do meth. Let's just get the sound cap really
Your
easy.
brother Michael
My brother Michael drank some
Permanently
period blood.
licked it.
Yeah,
It's
tasted.
not like he poured it into a glass.
It was like, oh, this fine vintage.
I'm out.
Well, yeah, morphine is like, because when you're coming out of surgery, the one time I had, it was like the best high I've ever had in my entire life. And when I sobered up, I was like, give me more of whatever the fuck that was. And the nurses were like, no. And I went, yes. And
Please.
I literally told my
Behind
parents,
us.
if someone could hand me that right now, I would fucking take it. Like, I
Yeah.
would just keep taking it. Because it was like the happiest I've ever felt my entire life.
Drugs are scary.
Yeah.
I just do steroids.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
It's the only one that gives you an actual lasting benefit, which
Penis
is
wouldn't.
my penis wouldn't shrink, my testicles wouldn't shrink.
You only
I
get to
wouldn't
do it
get
once,
breasts.
though.
It's not only once.
Yeah, that was one of the rules.
Was it only one time?
You get to do a drug once with 0 consequences.
Yeah,
so
still
you can-
steroids.
Yeah, but you can still do it later, just then you have consequences again.
But like steroids need to be like
Ongoing. It's an ongoing thing,
Yeah.
but the less you do of it, the more stays.
okay.
If that makes sense, like
Yeah,
the less
yeah.
the less you do of it, the less negative consequences you get because there is a way that you can do cycles in such a way that you don't get any negative consequences.
Yeah.
Or at least much fewer, which is how people like Arnie look really good without looking like a weird homunculus or not being able to have kids.
Yeah.
Arnie doesn't look like a homunculus.
I mean, okay,
looks weird.
whenever I see a really buff dude though,
yeah.
I always imagine that their traps
Oh, there's like
are
another
like
pair of
the
shoulders.
shoulders of a really skinny guy,
I
and he's in like a
cannot
giant
stand-
mechanical body.
I love it. It's so
I
weird
cannot
looking.
stand that muscle. It bothers me.
The traps.
Yeah.
part?
Anytime anybody works out their traps and they have that like weird ass bump between their neck and their shoulder,
No, it's just
it
their
just
second
it
pair of
looks
shoulders.
fucking gross.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Dude,
not.
I love it.
It makes
No.
it look
So
like
good.
they're
I don't
skinny
like
guys
it.
stuck in a buff gun.
No. You gotta do it the right way, where it's just like it's defined, but it's not bulbous.
It's not like the meme guy where it's just like.
It
Oh, wait.
touches his ears.
The like big neck dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neck dude, yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Rough.
you know what? Actually, if I'm only gonna do it once, maybe not steroids. If I'm only gonna do it one time, with no negative consequences, I think I just do one of the drugs they use for like euthanasia, like one of the
That goes into mine.
no, too late.
No.
I want one of the drugs that they do to like kill people on death row, because then I'm the only person to have ever
We're so
survived that,
upset
so I
now.
know what the high is like.
Actually, there's a dude who lived for like 5 minutes
Oh,
longer
yeah,
because it
the-
was like over tightened where they had like the band
Yeah,
tied around
but it
his
was
arm.
too tight where he didn't feel anything except excruciating pain.
But to be fair, that dude must have felt like a god for 5 minutes. Like,
That is true.
Fuck you guys. I did it. I survived the injection. I gotta go home and I don't know whatever he did. Murder like 15 boys.
What is it with you and killing kids?
You know,
He
it's
just
just a
says
flavor
boys
of
is
the
like a
month.
generic.
Yeah, but he wants
Word,
to.
though.
He wants to
Yeah.
rape 8 kids.
Like
He
this
wants to
cat
kill
over
15
here is a boy.
boys.
Trevor's a boy. Megan's a boy.
I
mean,
I can
do those boys have
clarify
good
it is-
stories?
Maybe.
Yes, you won't
You
know.
won't
yet.
know. No one will
Not
ever
until
know.
that
those
dude
two.
murders them. So
That's
we'll
true.
find out then.
Yeah, no. Because you would only let me do it once, I will take the death needle.
I hate you because I was gonna pick cyanide.
It's too.
Now I don't have a.
No, that's
now I don't
different.
have one. I just want to feel the glorious release of death without the commitment.
Can't you
But
just take a
that's-
really low dose of
Yeah,
cyanide? and be
also,
like,
no,
oh,
no.
this feels like I'm dying, but I lived.
No, but it's not. Because if you die, that's permanent. That's not just a side effect.
Zero negative consequences. It's up to my own interpretation.
Yeah, you can't. That doesn't mean you can come back from the dead.
No. I just don't die.
Then you don't feel anything.
No, I go right to the brink, and then I'm alive.
Yeah, that's called sleeping. That sleeping is being as close to death, but being able to come back.
I would say that being alive is being as close to death as coming back.
Hashtag Yaji.
Is much more enjoyable than being alive.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
So
I
is being
agree, but
dead.
that's also a mental health ailment.
I agree most of the time until you're sleeping. You know, it was a good sleep, and then you wake up and you're like, oh my god, insert loved one was just stabbed in my dream. I must call them to make sure they aren't dead.
I just don't remember my dreams. Or
I don't
have-
remember any of mine.
Or I have like real basic ones where it's like, I went to the
Yeah, all
store.
of his are
and-
boring.
Yeah, oh my.
I
oh
went
my-
down the street and I saw Kyle. Hello, Kyle. Anyway,
Most of my dreams are just my brain literally spitting stuff. Like the most interesting one that I had recently is I was walking down a university in our town. Oh, there's a serial killer on the loose. I just find out. I go to a store and have coffee and then wake up. That's it. That was the whole dream.
Beautiful.
his are so
Ooh,
boring. Now you're
wonderful.
like, I'm being murdered and people I
Yeah.
love are being murdered in front of me.
Our
and, like,
freezer's full of severed heads.
Basically, yeah.
Yep.
Or sex dreams. Those are the only type of dreams I have. Are murder or sex. That's it.
But like, lately dreams have been kind of shitty and not like the, oh no, there's Freddy murdering me in my sleep. It's more been like, I'm working a dead-end job that I hate, and I just finished my shift, and then I wake up, and I'm like, oh.
So real life.
That, it's like real life plus an extra like 8 hours. So you're just kind of like, wow, I'm glad I just spent my entire fucking dream dreaming of work, which I don't want to do, and now I have to do it again.
Oh, that's rough.
I don't like it. What drug would you do, Trevor?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
say
Trevor's
I
turn.
just do heroin.
Nice.
baby's
Good one.
first answer.
Yeah.
It's
Ooh.
Well, because, like, I don't know, there's nothing else that really...
There's no other
Like
drug
crocodile.
that scares me
But, like,
that I
don't know
want
what
to try.
crocodile, like, does for, like, a feel-good effect.
Isn't
It's
isn't
the
this an
same-
opiate?
It's the same as like heroin. It's
Yeah.
that you don't melt
Oh.
with
okay.
heroin.
Yeah.
So this one would just be the same as heroin, except you get to say that you did crocodile.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Or you could do the mythical like zombie powder thing with no ill effects, just to say that you did it.
The bath salts?
Yeah. Also, yes, you could do bath salts. You could do.
But, like,
That would be a good one, though.
Peyote.
So what exactly are bath salts?
Yep.
Okay.
Some salts, like pure.
That's what
It's
I
not,
thought.
it's not
It's
Epsom
not
salt.
I'm not
Why
gonna lie.
not?
I thought that's what it was.
Yeah.
People just fucking.
That's what I thought too,
Eat
because everyone's like,
Epsom
"Oh, it's
salts?
called bath salts."
Yeah. No. In a
That's
similar
just
in
the-
a
that's
similar
just the
way
drug
that
name.
like.
Weed
What
is
is
called
it?
devil's
M-
lettuce,
M-
but it's
MDMA?
not really lettuce.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
It's not made by the devil.
Yeah, it's in a similar way. Marijuana is called jazz cigarettes, but I don't smoke it as a cigarette,
No, they're
and I don't
called
like
wacky
jazz.
tobacco.
It's the same way you don't get reefer madness, and if someone is actually smoking pot right outside
I can smell it. Yeah.
right now, so
Nice.
It's like winter.
Oh, yeah,
Thanks,
dude.
Canada.
For the listeners at home,
We're in
we
Canada.
we opened up the window because it was hot in here, and yeah, it just smells like weed now.
oh yeah, dude,
Wonderful.
you gotta
And
legalize
we're in
it.
Canada, so it's legal.
Yeah.
Is it?
It is.
No.
I mean, I can't even really be too mad because I'm pretty sure I make other people's apartments also stink from all this sweet.
That's breaking your
Minnows.
lease.
Yeah, it is.
Shut up.
Breaking your lease. I'm gonna take this down to your landlord and say this dude's smoking the sticky icky. You better.
The sweet minush in your apartment.
Yeah. This man's smoking that
I mean,
kind
I feel
good herb.
Everyone in all of the buildings.
Oh no, absolutely.
Yeah, no. And like even before
Yeah,
the
before it was
legalization
legal.
happened, like,
Walking the hallways today was like, savory, weed.
yeah.
Herbs and spices.
I know it's
Weed.
either
The only
people
thing I
cooking
do
or
care about-
weed.
The only thing I do care about is that there is one person on my floor that smokes cigarettes in their apartment, and that bothers me.
Yeah.
I smoke cigarettes as well, but I smoke them
Outside.
outside because
Yeah.
in the house is fucking gross.
Well, it
Yeah.
actually damages like the
It
Property.
damages
like,
the walls. It
Yeah.
causes problems, and it stinks, and its smell doesn't go away. Like weed smell will go away after a couple hours.
So what you're telling me is that people who smoke cigarettes smell bad. Is that what
This-
you're implying?
Yeah,
Corey?
including me. Yeah, absolutely.
This is turning into a weird
They
like
taste
what
bad too.
what
I'm just
grinds
saying.
Corey's gears episode of the podcast. This is turning into Corey's weird soapbox moment where he can turn around to the audience and be like,
He's like, don't you understand? That's why I made this.
Yeah.
I made this so I could talk about the things that I don't like.
God damn it. Next.
Next segment.
Next segment.
All right.
Fucking hell.
So we have one last segment for the night, and we're gonna jump back to Zach for
Hey.
another Would You Rather.
Hey, it me.
What is
Yo
it?
boy. I only have one left, and this is the bad one that I don't like. So
Ending on a high note.
Bad
Ending
in
on
a
a high
good way
note.
or bad
Yeah,
in a bad
there we
way?
go.
yeah, sure is.
Don't worry, we'll
Oh,
make
okay.
it good.
Would you rather give the first 99% of a blowjob or the last 1%?
Oh.
Oh, I saw this one as well.
Last
it's also
1%,
very good.
Last 1%
Yeah, last
is the
1%.
easiest. You just gotta swallow. That's it.
Actually, is that a
Whoa.
requirement?
Yeah.
I can't just catch it in my mouth and spit.
No.
No, spitters and quitters.
Yeah, thank
yeah,
you.
you
Yeah.
gotta swallow.
Yeah, what kind of insensitive
Whoa.
piece of shit.
Today
are
I
you?
learned Megan's a trooper.
Good job, Megan.
It's
We're
only-
we're
it's only-
proud of you.
Only backfired once, and I almost threw up.
Story time.
Oh.
Story
It
time.
wasn't me.
It was not Zach. It was my ex.
Still story time.
So,
Get
It's
into it.
like, I don't want to hear this story.
all right.
Yeah,
So
dude,
if
I
a guy,
already heard this
if a guy
story.
does not take care of himself,
Oh.
his sperm will be very, very salty. So salty that I almost threw up because I swallowed it.
Is it like Dutch
Like-
black licorice salty though?
Yes.
But
Yes.
I like Dutch
I like
black
that licorice
licorice.
stuff.
Oh man.
I like it too.
Like pure salt
Yeah,
and like
Last
warm,
1%.
and like warm
Lemon.
and like warm water,
Yeah.
and then like a
Yeah,
ton of salt.
Trevor just needs to find himself a guy who eats nothing but fast food like
Yeah.
your ex did. And just
Basically.
fire
Oh,
it down
sometimes
there.
it was okay. It was just like that one time I was like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom just because I might just. I
Hey,
did.
yo, come nasty boy.
That's why you don't date nasty boys.
Yeah. I mean,
They're
I thought
it's like me.
from
So kind,
from
so considerate.
from what I've heard so far, I think Trevor and Tyler might need a phone number from you. Because
No.
apparently they like that level of
Or
salt.
hold up. I can just go to the store and buy some licorice.
Yeah.
I'm also gonna say last 1% because I actually don't have a gag reflex. So you just poke it down there, get some free protein to help you make them sick gains. You're done.
You
Once-
don't have a gag reflex,
I
huh?
don't have a gag reflex.
That's right, he'd be good at it.
What's the length of the blow? Because some guys, if they don't last very long, that 99%.
Yeah, what if
ain't
it's a
that bad.
matter of what? And
Why don't we say like
Standard 5
seven,
minutes.
yeah, like 6 or 7 minutes tops.
See,
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
jaw
yeah.
problems, so I can't go very long, so it's last 1%.
We all look at Zach like,
Zach, can you confirm?
Zach, are you okay?
Well, it's hard
Sorry.
sometimes. No, the secret is you just don't have a gag reflex. You poke it all the way down there.
Don't worry, guys. Just don't gag on the dick. You just go.
Yeah, you idiots. You just.
Is that one dude who just like fires hot dogs back?
Oh no, the best one is the lady who just swallows an entire stick of butter.
Oh
Ew.
no! Why?
Yeah, okay,
I mean, like,
so
okay, I can eat like just like butter.
Can you?
Yeah, I can.
Why?
But like even that
Why?
grosses
no,
me
okay,
out.
because
Why would you do
it's in the
this?
I like
states.
the taste. Of
It's in the
it.
states where like a stick of butter is like 4 inches by like an inch and a half by like an inch and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
guys'
she
dicks are
just-
usually bigger than that.
She just tilts her head back, takes the stick out of the paper, and then just like slowly pushes it down.
Like a pill.
Then like jerks her head like she's a bird a couple times, and then just opens her mouth and goes at the camera.
Can you just imagine that weird butter stick just slowly
Yeah, that-
slicking down, greasing up your throat hole,
No,
and then you just kind of go like a weird bird freak and go like, "I did it."
the worst part for me is what happens if you throw up, because you
Just
can't
solid.
you can't guarantee that it's going to come up narrow end first.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
You're just going to be vomiting and like throwing a stick of butter at your esophagus until it bruises.
What if it just like gets
Well, it
like
should melt
stuck?
a little bit as it's like going in because your
I don't know if it
insides
melts.
are warm.
I mean, your insides are warm,
Not
but
quick enough.
not
though.
that hot.
Yeah, not that quick.
I guess
enough.
I guess it depends on how cold the butter is.
it's like
too.
if
Yeah.
you're choking on an ice cube, you know you just gotta outlast it a little bit.
Yeah, you just got to
But
breathe
with a
through
stick,
it.
but with a stick of butter, you're like,
This is ours.
What am I doing?
Oh, this is the worst.
what was the question again?
First
Oh,
99%
penis
of
blowing,
blowjobs.
yeah. I don't know, man.
All right, Corey.
I do have my answer.
What is it?
Both of
Um,
us.
So do they have a
Corey
gross
wants
dick, or is it
100% of
a nice
the
dick?
blowjob.
Hold on.
So as many people might have already guessed, I like both men and women.
Yeah, I think they guessed that when you explicitly told them last
yeah,
time.
yeah,
Or
exactly.
just hearing you talk.
Or just hearing me talk, or hearing any of the stories I tell, or just the fucking like aura I put up.
Abomination unto my lord Jupiter.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'll take the first 99% because thing is, I have given blowjobs.
Nice.
Do you
The
find
last
it fun?
1% is the bad part.
No, it's not.
The
Not
first,
always.
the first
Sometimes it's pretty
99%
enjoyable.
is the part that I enjoy.
There's
I think it depends
there's
on
a lot
the
of nuts
penis
being passed
and the
around
guy,
here.
because if you have one of those guys that like grabs your head,
Oh.
I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah, no, that's fucked up.
I'm like,
yeah.
get the, don't even
Yeah,
touch
yeah.
me.
Zach.
I'm a kind and considerate.
I feel
lover.
like it also depends on if they wash beforehand.
You know, I'm gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah.
real. I feel like Zach's a really gentle boy.
I think I think he might be a little too gentle, but he's a
Sometimes.
gentle one.
I think
Yeah.
so. I think
Don't worry,
he's
I get him
scared.
to not be gentle sometimes.
I think he's scared of hurting Megan, so he's like, "I'm sorry."
He is actually afraid of
I'm
me a lot of the
literally,
time.
Aw, that's
I'm
cute.
literally twice the size of her. I'm occasionally worried that like if I hug her too tight or something, she will just like
Snap.
Like I'm just gonna like shatter her ribs and then be holding her going, oh no, do I let go? Do I not let go? What happens here? I'm scared.
So it's just like Megan's like, choke me, daddy, and
Daddy, no.
and then Zach's
No,
just
no.
like, is this okay for you?
I mean, that part, yes, daddy. No.
I I'm just
Daddy makes me
imagining.
think of my dad, and I don't want to think of my dad during sex.
yeah.
Thank
All I can think
This
of
is-
is your dad there. So I don't understand.
It helps, right?
What are you doing with my daughter?
Oh, that's
This
the ticket.
okay? Is that why you're always asking?
Yeah. What are you doing with my daughter? Is this okay, sir?
Now Megan's like, oh shit, I can't unvisualize this.
Yeah, that's, I don't know.
Oh,
Sorry,
I
Zach.
know. I actually have a question for you guys.
Oh no.
Megan
No.
I'm afraid.
and Zach,
Fuck.
have either of your parents ever caught or suspected you guys fucking?
I hope
I think
they
your
at
parents
least
straight up
suspect.
knew.
Oh yeah, my parents straight up knew because
Yeah,
like,
we were definitely
like-
fucking in the
we would
basement.
like go into my room and then we wouldn't come out for so many hours, and then he would just leave.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thank you very much. Thank you for the tap, my lady.
See, like, so Megan and Zach have been together since they were like 18, 19?
I was 18 when I was in high school, and that was
I-
2011.
I've known both you guys for a long time. I should
Not that
know
long.
this.
It's been only 5 years.
5 years. So I would have been 19. She would have been 20.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, so like 19 and 20 years old, I
Yeah.
guess that is, like, your parents would just be like, I guess they
no,
fucking.
no. His mom was like, I couldn't even stay over.
Yeah, no, I get
Or be
you're,
alone.
You're,
If you're
you're
over-
nice Christian household.
I'm a good Catholic boy.
If you're in his room, the door better be open.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
or if we were downstairs, she's like, how's it going down there every like 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking.
See,
little does she know that if I really want to, 20 minutes is all I need.
Like, if you really want
That's
to.
her mistake.
Yeah, mistake number one, assuming that I can't get shit done in 20 minutes.
see, like, my mom, when, like, the last time that I lived with my mom, I was maybe 21, and it was for a couple months when we moved to a new city. And I know that at that point, she was still, like, very much, if I have a woman in my room, my door is open.
It's
But she
started
also
that
had,
way.
my mom had a boyfriend that she would go and visit and stay the night over at. So I just always find it, and I'm like, Mom's gone for the night. I'm
So Corey,
inviting the girlfriend
Corey,
over.
Corey,
Yeah,
you were
that never
essentially
happened.
like, Mom's fucking, I'm fucking.
Yeah, how does that make you feel knowing that you and your mom just planned to bang at the same time?
Just
all
like,
the time?
All the time.
just like right in the middle of it, just like a proverbial high five.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no, just halfway through, you just kiss your fingers, you go, this one's for you, Mom.
That's all we have this week on the Trash Pit. Thank you all for listening. Check out our other podcast on Trash Fire Radio. If you have any comments or ideas for segments, send them to trashfireradio@gmail.com. And tune in next week to hear all about Tyler's impending pedophilia charges.
See you.